In today's video, we are going to be beating Modern with an $80 deck. This deck is 8-whack, and if you do not know what this deck does, it is the most aggro deck in the Modern format. And when looking at this list, the reason it's so aggressive is because it's playing all 1 and 2 drops, in addition to the best burn spell, period. This burn spell is Goblin Grenade, which you can only play if you have a bunch of goblins, because you have to sacrifice a goblin, but it deals 5 damage to any target. This, alongside the cheap creatures, allows you to easily get your opponent down to 4 or 5 life and use a Goblin Grenade or a Lightning Bolt to finish them off. So we're going to be taking the cheapest deck in the Modern format through a League of Modern to see how good it is. We are on the play, and starting hand looks quite good. We'll go turn 1 Mountain into Denizen. It plays out a Vantage into a Swift Spear, so it looks like we're up against Burn, and we will not block. Ooh, another Denizen. That will be very good for next turn. We will play out our land into a Battlecry Goblin, attacking in for 2. It shocks in a Sacred Foundry, bolting our Battlecry Goblin, and then they Lava Spike us, attacking us down to 13. Okay, Castle Embreath. We will go Mountain into a Denizen, pumping up our first Denizen, kicking out a Bushwhacker, and this is going to be a load of damage. Looks like we're attacking in for 9, so opponents can go down to 7. Then I'll go straight to combat, attacking in, and firing off a Lightning Helix. And they play out a land into a Skewer the Critics, putting us down to 4. Oh, okay, that's game. We will kick out our Bushwhacker, and I don't even think we need the bolt. A few triggers, and attack in for 10. Sweet, so let's get on to sideboarding. We're going to take out 4 Goblin Grenade and 4 Battlecry Goblin for 2 Pirate Spellbomb, 4 Leyline Combustion, and 2 Dragon's Claw. Game 2, starting hand, looks really strong. We will keep and put in a Leyline of Combustion. It leads on turn 1 Foundry into a Swift Spear. Ooh, another Leyline. We will play out our Mountain, and we're bolting the Swift Spear now. It touches out a Mountain, casting out another Swift Spear, then attack in for 1. Then after combat, they Skewer the Critic to us, dealing 3 to us, but Leyline does 2 to them. Another Revealed Horde Master. We will play our land into a Mogwar Marshal. It plays out a Goblin Guide, attacking in, revealing a Dragon's Claw. Okay, yeah, we'll keep that. We will chump block the guide with our Mogwar Marshal, and before damage, they bolt us, taking 2 and dealing 2 to us. We draw our Dragon's Claw, we'll cast it out and pass back. Plays out a land, attacking in. We reveal a Legion Loyalist. We will double block the Goblin Guide, and before damage, they cast a Boros Charm. We will gain a life and deal 2 damage to them. Then we trade off our team and go down to 5. We will play out our Loyalist, gaining a life, and then cast out a Bushwhacker, gaining another life, attacking in for 1. Opponent attacks in, we will chump, and they cast another Boros Charm, dealing 2 to them, gain us another life. We find a Denizen, we will cast out our Horde Master, gain life, and attack in for 2. Opponent plays out a land, attacks in, we will chump again. We exile our top card after, and it's a Lightning Bolt. Wow, opponent cast a Light up the stage, revealing a Swift Spear and a Lightning Helix. They fetch out a Mountain, casting a Swift Spear. No land for us, but that's a good draw. We'll play our Denizen, cast out our Guide, attack in for 2, revealing a Goblin Guide. Opponent cast out a Goblin Guide, and opponent cast out a Lightning Helix, and they attack in for 6. We will take it, finding a land off the top, and we'll just attack in for 4. And we take down Burn. Let's get on to the next match. We are on the play, and starting hand is a little too weak, so mull. And this hand is much better. We will keep it and put back a Reckless Bushwhacker. Lead on turn 1 Mountain into a Guide, revealing a Delighted Halfling. Opponent goes for his Halfling. Ooh, Legion Loyalist is a good one. We will play our land into a Horde Master, attacking for 3, revealing a Colony Garden. A land off the top would be so good, please. Opponent plays out a Mire into a Grist, taking up, milling over a Blooming Marsh. Unfortunate, no land. We will play out our Loyalist, go to combat, down the Grist, and attack the opponent for 2, revealing another Colony Garden, revealing a Yawgmoth, and after combat, we will bolt the Halfling so they can't cast Yawgmoth next turn. Opponent plays a Boseiju passing, we find another Loyalist, we will kick out our Bushwhacker, and attack in with the team, giving them another land. Oh, and they do have an Endurance, good one, and they block our Loyalist, going down to 4, and we exile a Denizen. Opponent plays out a Colony Garden into a Halfling, into a Strangleroot, guys, and sadly this is not going to do it for him. We will untap, play our land, and cast a Goblin Grenade, and opponent scoops it up. Let's get on to sideboarding. We'll bring in 2 Tomod's Crep for 2 Mogwar Marshal. Game 2, hand looks great. We'll keep. Opponent goes turn 1 Blooming Marsh. We draw a land. We will go Mountain into a Goblin Guide. We'll attack in for 2, revealing a Delighted Halfling. Opponent plays out a Twilight Mire. We find a Mogwar Marshal. We will play out our Castle Embreath into a Denizen and another Guide, revealing 2 more halflings. And they have a Bowmasters, taking out our Denizen. And they double block one of our Goblin Guides, taking it out. Then opponent plays out 2 halflings into a Boseiju. Another land for us, not great. We'll play out our Mountain into a Mogwai Marshal, and no attacks for us. Opponent shocks in an Overgrown Tomb, casting a Yawgmoth. We will not pay the Echo. Find another Goblin Guide, and I guess we will cast that out into a Surged Bushwhacker, then attack in with the team. Showing the 3rd halfling, that's funny. They sack a halfling, taking off the +1/+1, showing us another Yawgmoth. Then they make these blocks, sacking Bowmaster, or sacking their stuff, taking out our 2 attackers. Yeah, at this point, we're just too far behind. We will scoop it up and get on to game 3. Game 3, starting hand is just barely good enough, so we'll keep. We'll lead on turn 1 Mountain. Then it goes turn 1 Verdant into a Young Wolf. Find a Goblin Guide, we'll play out our Ruins into a Battlecry Goblin. Then it plays out a Soul Cauldron, another Battlecry Goblin for us. Yeah, we'll just cast that out and attack in for 2. Then it shocks in an Overgrown Tomb, casting a Grist, taking up. We land over a Shieldred. And we do find a land, so we'll play out our Ruins, cast out a Goblin Guide, cast out our Tomad's Crypt, and they activate their Cauldron, putting a +1 on their Insect, and then we will cast out a Bushwhacker and attack in with the team, ignoring Grist. And they do show us a Bowmasters on top, and they make these blocks. They're down to 7. Then we will pop our Crypt, getting rid of their Young Wolf. It picks up, milling over a Young Wolf, casting out a Young Wolf into a Colony Garden. Oh, a Bushwhacker off the top. We'll just go to combat, and they do cast out a Bowmasters, shooting one of our tokens, and we will pump the team with the Battlecry Goblin, attack them, revealing a Delighted Halfling, and they make these blocks. So then we will just cast out a Bushwhacker after the fact. Or it ticks up with their Grist, making an Insect, casting out a Yawgmoth. Oh, another Goblin Grenade. That's so big. So we will cast a Goblin Grenade at them, sacking our Bushwhacker, and then we will cast another Goblin Grenade, and that should be lethal. 2 mana deal 10's pretty good. They activate Yawgmoth and scoop it up. Let's get on to the next match. When we are on the play and starting hand, looks quite good. Opponent goes turn 1 Spirebluff into a Ragavan. We'll go Mountain into a Legion Loyalist. Opponent plays out a land, kills our Loyalist, and attacks in. Oh no, taking our own Loyalist. And they fetch Shock, playing out our Loyalist. Another land for us. We'll play that into a Horde Master. And that meets a Stern Scolding. Alright, we're just going to scoop it up from here. This is not a good start, so let's get on to sideboarding. We're going to take out 2 lands and 4 Goblin Grenades for 2 Sensation Gorger and 4 Leyline of Combustion. Starting hand looks pretty decent. We'll lead on turn 1 Mountain into a Denizen. One plays out a Canal. We'll attack in for 1 and then play out our Horde Master. Yeah, and they do have a Stern Scolding, which is why we attacked first. Just in case, maybe that baits out a removal spell. One plays out a land into a Ragavan. Didn't cast out a Preordain. And we top deck a Mogwai War Marshal. We'll play out our Ruins, play out our War Marshal. Then we will attack in for 3. And they do trade. One plays a land into a Ragavan. And opponent plays out a Dress Down. I'm not sure how this works, actually. Alright, I guess we'll just let Echo happen. Interesting, so that does just kill that. So we will play out our land into a Sensation Gorger. When it attacks in, we will block with our Goblin. Then they play another Ragavan into a DRC and an Otawara. And our top card is a Mountain, sadly. We will play out a land, cast out our Battlecry Goblin, which meets another Stern Scolding. And then I guess we're surging out our Bushwhacker. And no attacks. No attacks in with the team. We will block the Ragavan. And there's the 4th. We will use our Sensation Gorger, please. Yes, we will use it, discarding our hand, drawing 4. Another Gorger, play out a Mountain, play out a Battlecry Goblin. Oh my goodness, another 1 mana counterspell on my 2 mana play. Then we will play out a Goblin Guide into another Gorger, and we'll attack in for 2. And then they bolt our Sensation Gorger and takes 2. Then they bolt our other Sensation Gorger and attacks in with the team, taking our Goblin Guide. Yeah, at this point, we're just too far behind. This is an abysmal matchup. We are on the draw, and start hand looks quite good. It leads on turn 1 Shock into an Abundant Harvest, revealing a land into their hand. We find another Battlecry Goblin. We will play our Mountain into a Goblin Guide, attacking in for 2, revealing a Mistress Bauble. Someone plays out their Bauble, looking at their top card. They play out the land we didn't know about, picking up a Mountain, casting a Manamorphose into another Manamorphose, and then cast a Grape Shot, killing our guide and dealing us 2. Oh, wait, they messed up. We find another Horde Master. We'll play out our Embreath into a Battlecry Goblin, and then attacking for 2. And we do give them a land. I'm going to cast out a Ren's Resolve, exiling a land and another Ren's Resolve, casting out an Abundant Harvest, revealing Grape Shot. Land, let's go. That should be game. We'll play out our Loyalist into a Bushwhacker and attack in for some damage, giving them another land, and that's Xaxes. Let's get on to sideboarding. We're going to take out 4 Denizens and 2 Battlecry Goblin for 2 Dragonclaw and 4 Leyline Combustion. Game 2, starting hand is not great, but we'll keep it. It goes turn 1 Fetch Shock into into a Ragavan. Another Horde Master. We will go turn 1 land into a uncooked Bushwhacker. Opponent attacks in. We will trade. They play out a Mountain into a Goblin Archaeomancer. So let's play a Mountain into a Dragon's Claw. Opponent cast out a DRC. We will gain a life. Into a Dash Ragavan. They attack in 4, exiling our Goblin Guide. Then they cast out a Manamorphose, keeping the card on top with the DRC. Then they cast an Ancient Grudge. Wow. And our Goblin Guide. Top deck a War Marshal. We will play that out. And then cast a Goblin Grenade, the Archaeomancer. And in response, they cast a Seek the Beast, exiling a Bolt and a Morphos. Don't cast out the Morphos. Then they cast out their Questing Druid. Then they cast out a Rin's Resolve, exiling land and Archaeomancer, attacks in. Sadly, no land on top. I guess we will trade off our goblins for the Goblin Guide. We will cast the Bog War Marshal and pass back. Opponent plays out their land into an Archaeomancer. Then they cast out their Ragavan and attacks in. We will chump with our War Marshal into a Weather the Storm, gaining 9 life. Finally a land. We will go Embreath into a War Marshal into a Horde Master, and we'll attack in with our 2 goblins. Opponent casts out Abundant Harvest, revealing a Manamorphose, which they cast out. Keeps a card on top of their library, not a good sign. Into another Harvest, revealing a Bauble, putting an Ancient Grudge into the yard. Looking at our top, picking up their Gigantha, and they attack in. We will chump with our War Marshal, trigger Horde Master, exiling a Bolt, getting a 1/1. We draw a Dragon's Claw, not bad. We will cast that into a Horde Master, and we'll attack in with 3 of our goblins, and they do chump block one of them. Opponent cast out a Gigantha, we gain a life. Then they cast an Ancient Grudge, taking out our Dragon's Claw, and they fetch Shock, casting a Grape Shot, and I can take out both of our Horde Masters pretty good. We exile Sokenzan, a Goblin Guide, and a Mountain, not good. They attack in for 3. Alright, we're gonna need a good draw here. A Legion Loyalist, I don't think that's gonna do it, but we'll play a Guide, play out Loyalist, and pass back. Oh, and they find a Breach. Alright, well, we'll scoop it up there and get on to game 3. We'll take out 2 Dragon's Claw for 2 Tomod's Crypts. Game 3, starting hand is so sketchy. Guess we're keeping it. Lead on turn 1 Mountain into a Bushwhacker. We find a Raminop Ruins, we'll play that out, cast out our Tomod's Crypt, and then cast a Bushwhacker. And they cast a Heat on our smaller Bushwhacker. One plays out a Bauble, looking at their top. Then they fetch Shock, cast out Abundant Harvest, revealing a Mountain. Ooh, Bolt off the top, not bad. We'll play out our Mountain, kick our Bushwhacker, and they heat our Bushwhacker, and we'll attack in for 2. Plays out an Archaeomancer into a Manamorphose. Then they fire off an Ancient Grudge, taking out our Grip. In response, we will bolt the Archaeomancer and exile their graveyard. And they have an Unholy Heat, taking out our Bushwhacker into a Bauble. Alright, we're gonna have to draw pretty well to win this one. Horde Master, not a bad start. We'll play that out, passing. I'm gonna cast out a DRC into another DRC. Find a Goblin Grenade. We'll just pass back. Opponent fires off a Rin's Resolve, exiling land and Unholy Heat. They play out the land, eat our Horde Master. Oh, we do find a Goblin Guide. An opponent fetches, attacking in for 6. That was a very good draw. So we will play out our Goblin Guide, kick our Bushwhacker, attack in 5. They reveal a Bolt. Strangely enough, I think it's correct to not even play out the Crypt, which seems weird. Opponent bolts our Goblin Guide, then plays out a tapped land, attacks in for 6. All right, any haste creature at the top or Lightning Bolt should do it. Come on, haste creature, please. Castle Embreath. Oh, that's so awkward. Kinda does it. So we will attack in, activate Castle Embreath, put them down to 5, cast out a Crypt. Oh, they find a Rin's Resolve. They bin a Ragavan. They bin a land. Please. Ancient Grudge, Rin's Resolve. I think we're gonna be able to do this. And they cast an Ancient Grudge. That means that they cannot find a removal spell here. And they're exactly at 5. We'll let their surveils happen. Exile their yard? No way. I think we won this. Oh my goodness. No attacks from the opponent, but they're at 5 and we got a Goblin Grenade. We will play our Goblin Grenade, sacking our Bushwhacker, and that is lethal. What a crazy game. Let's get on to the next match. We are on the draw, and starting hand looks quite strong. It goes turn 1 Starkslick Shores into an Underworld Cookbook. Lead on turn 1 Mountain into a Loyalist, hacking in for 1. Opponent plays out a land into a Rona. So let's fire off a Bolt on Rona. Play out a Sokenzan and attack in for 1, and pass back. Opponent cast a Preordain into a Delta. They also cycle to Street Wraith. This card's an... Oh my goodness. Alright, we're getting Emrakul. Yep, we're at 5, and our land land does damage to us. This is going to be very spooky. Okay, we'll play out our land into a Legion Loyalist and attack in for 1. And another Loyalist for us, so we'll play that out and attack in with team. It fires off a Profane Tutor. Come on, land. Okay, I guess we're casting out a Bushwhacker. Attacking in for 2. Opponent cracks their food. Opponent does nothing. We draw a Goblin Grenade. We'll attack in for 3. And the opponent casts a Profane Tutor. Alright, let's get on to sideboarding. We're going to take out 4 Mog War Marshal and a Denizen for 3 Smash the Smithereens and 2 Tomaz Crypts. Game 2, starting hand just too slow, so I'm all. And this hand just needs to draw creatures and not lands, so we'll keep it and lead on turn 1 Denizen. Opponent goes turn 1 Saga. We find another land, not good. Play out Mountain, attack in for 1. Opponent plays out an Otawara. We draw a Loyalist. We will play that out. Pump our Denizen, attack in for 3. Then play out a Crypt. Opponent floats a mana off Saga, getting a Cookbook. And they play out a Gemstone Caverns. Ooh, Smash the Smithereens, huge draw. Attack in for 2. And their upkeep, we will cast a Smash on the Cook. Opponent does discard a Profane Tutor, getting a food. Opponent plays a Polluted Delta, getting a Swamp. Nothing else. Another Bolt. And if I'm doing the math correctly, I think this is lethal. 5. And yeah, this is lethal. So let's cast a Goblin Grenade, chucking, I guess, the Legion Loyalist at them. And they gain 3 life. Not sure what 1 mana black spell can gain them 3 life other than Cling to Dust. And I'm gonna hope that's not in their hand. So we will bolt them again. Fatal Push, that's fine. And then cast a Bolt, and that should be lethal. There we go. Let's get on to game 3. Game 3, starting hand is 2 land heavy and has no sideboard cards, so mole. And another hand that just basically does nothing even in any matchup, so we got a mole. And a no-lander, fantastic. And this would have been a great 5 or 7, but I guess we're keeping this. We'll put back a Loyalist, a Goblin Grenade, and a land. Opponent goes turn 1 Swamp. We draw a Bushwhacker. We'll go turn 1 Loyalist, and that gets pushed. Opponent plays an island into a Profane Tutor. No land for us, so we'll cast out our Bushwhacker, passing. Opponent cast out a Preordain. Then they play out a Saga into an Underworld Cookbook, discarding a Rona and playing out an Asmo. Yep, and at this point, we are just so dead, so we will scoop it up and get on to the next match. So overall, we obviously went 3-2 with the list, which was pretty impressive. Not bad for a deck that costs $80 in Modern. And I even think we probably could have gone 4-1. We did lose to the Mulligans in that Reanimator matchup. I don't think that's a great matchup to begin with, but that definitely could have helped. And as for losing to Murktide, I mean, that matchup is just abysmal. They have so much cheap interaction, and we literally can't win that one, so that is okay. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video and like this super cheap deck that basically anyone can get. $80 is, I mean, it's not very expensive Modern or in general for a deck, so hope you all enjoyed this video. Please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.